live stream, and we are live on the YouTubes. All right, the finale is here. All right,
Ah,
now that we are up there, we don't want to have too much before we
I
start the
almost
podcast. Oh, okay, we're going, so I'm going to start the podcast. Here we go. All right, everybody, welcome back to Podcast Winterfell. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. It's the finale, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Episode 6, The Morrow. My name is Axel. Today I'm here with Gina and a very special guest who we'll get to after I talk about other stuff. Go to dvrpodcast.com, check us out there, and also become a patron at patreon.com/DVR. We welcome all our new patrons. I just want to give a shout out to some of our backdoor friends from Little Miss Recap who have come over here after hearing me talk with Amy about the traders and the military shows. What's that show that we
military
covered?
shows,
The military
special
Special
forces. But you make it
forces?
special forces.
you make
Yeah.
it sound like you guys do the History Channel prime time every
It's
week.
so funny because when I think about the show, I just think about talking to her. I don't even think about the show. Like I have to secondarily think
That's
about the
funny.
show. But thanks for it's just great to have new people and of course people who have been listening to podcasts Winterfell and Lost Mythos and all that for years. It's pretty cool. We've been doing this almost freaking 20 years. So in 2 years, it's gonna be the 20th anniversary solo, or maybe like a year
Ooh.
or so. Oh, I gave away our guest.
Oh no!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our guest, secret guest, Heath Solo. Heath, how are you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you, Axel. Thank you, Gina, for having me. Um, it's been a while since I talked any type of Thrones on the airwaves or the internet wave. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to kind of dive back in here at the end. You
Yay.
reserved me the best spot. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, of course. And Gina, how are you doing this morrow?
I'm doing well this morrow.
Good,
So,
good.
no bruises, no, I'm gonna die, says the
Oh, that's
maester.
good.
I don't know, nothing like that.
You have not been stabbed 7 times.
No, I have
That's
had
good.
no chainmail that has to been dug out of my insides.
But I want to tell everyone because this is exciting. Just yesterday on the Patreon and today on Daily DVR, I will be releasing a Bridgerton podcast
Yay.
encompassing season 4, episodes 1 to 4 with Gina, Jenny, and Claire. And for those of
Ooh,
you who don't know, you know
Claire
Andy.
Bear?
Yes,
yeah,
Claire Bear.
our own
Andy
Claire
is the
Bear.
host here,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Andy and Claire are married. So that's pretty cool that and I told my wife the countdown is on, and she said never gonna happen. So
Aw, Perry, come on, join the
I
dark side.
know. We do a
she
running Nike pod or something. Will she at least
she told
pre-tape
you
a minute?
know, I feel like if she was tricked into it and like
That's
I
what I'm
just started
thinking.
a conversation and had a recording going, but then I'd have to let her listen to it after. I could never really, but because
Uh,
if she relaxed, she talks so much, she could definitely do it. But
I
it's just,
yeah. I think it's getting past the hurdle of the first nerves because I
yeah,
know
yeah.
Claire was like, I don't know how this is going to go, guys. And she was great. Like, it's like we'd been podcasting with her for a long time. So,
yes.
yeah,
It's having a conversation. Once you get
it
past the
is.
lights and the
Yeah.
volume control, honestly, it's us just talking. And
Oh,
that's how good sometimes everyone, like, I love this network, of course, but when we all get together, I forget I'm podcasting.
Yeah.
We just start
yeah.
talking. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's been two
Just
hours.
chatting.
Well,
You
and
know,
also with the Bridgerton one, we didn't do video. So it kind of takes some pressure off if
Yeah.
you're nervous
that's
about
true.
that. And,
Yeah.
which is always an option. You don't have to, we don't always have to
No,
do video
no,
if it
that's
means
true.
getting a special guest on.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
Hmm.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe one day
One
I'll
day.
be able to convince her. But Claire was awesome
Yeah.
because Andy was texting me and he was like, "Oh, she's nervous. She wants to hear it. She thinks she didn't do well." And then as
Uh,
soon as you introduce her, she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And it's like
I
so
know.
natural
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she has a great voice too.
She
She has a
does. Yeah.
very good
that's
voice.
awesome.
So
Yeah. We had a
that's
lot of
yeah.
fun.
Well, she
We
is
had
a
a lot of fun.
teacher, isn't she? So that
Yeah.
She is.
a good
Yeah.
voice goes a long way.
You know,
I'm saying.
She She was meant to do this.
Yeah.
About time. Let's get
Yes,
more. Let's get more
exactly.
Claire Bear
We
on
will
the world.
be
Oh,
we'll be covering the second drop too, which
oh,
it
nice,
that the
nice.
second set of the last set of shows drops Thursday. So sometime in the next couple weeks we'll get together again and we'll finish out the season.
Well, my wife's
Yes.
getting into Bridgerton on her
Oh,
own,
good.
so she's going to be listening to the pods.
Great.
I'm
Great.
setting her up. It's on her phone. All she has to do is press
Nice.
play. So she's excited.
Exciting. Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
Well, everyone check that out on Daily DVR. And if you are a patron, you're already enjoying it. It was very good. But today, of course, we're here to talk about the finale. A Night of Seven Kingdoms, fantastic. And before we start, okay, before we start, I actually wanted to start the podcast, and I have to scroll on my phone because my computer's so slow. Because I asked everyone on our Facebook page, what were your thoughts about the finale? And I want to start because he always writes brilliantly. This is brilliant. And also, his name is Kevin Centazzo.
Oh boy.
Oh,
The
He
man. The myth.
says,
worried.
No.
somehow this show managed to seamlessly weave together an action flick, a buddy film, and an epic period piece, and it all works. It's crazy because they have all these moving parts while at the same time they're not trying to do too much. Between the casting, the writing, and the brilliant pace, they have achieved what many shows have not. I care about these characters and I believe everything they're doing to be genuine. This usually happens when a show like The Last of Us has a brilliant episode, like episode 3, season 1, or when The Bear had episode 7 of season 2, Forks. But this show is doing that level of care consistently throughout, and it's quite an achievement. I hope they're able to keep it up. The finale was small and beautiful, which I loved. End of
Kevin.
podcast.
So done.
Boop.
KC came through. I'm gonna have to
That,
agree. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to
yeah,
agree. This show is great, and I didn't know going in how I was gonna take it. But you know what? And I want to say this because you have Game of Thrones that is violent and crazy, but you do have some laughter here and there. But it's a downer at most of the time. House of the Dragon is just plain downer. I never smile. And then this one, you smile from the beginning, but they add the Game of Thrones action in, so it gives you that balance. So it's not just a straight up comedy, it's the Game of Thrones world, but a lighter side of it. And they did it great. Now, I know people on Bubba and Catfish's Joffrey of podcasts, by like episode 4 was like, this is the best Thrones ever. I'm like, pump the brakes. We got a lot of Game of Thrones did a lot of great stuff, but I get the enthusiasm, and it's true. It was a lot of fun, and it was quick and perfect. It was just enough. Around 3 hours, right? The series.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Probably.
what did you think of this finale and how it capped this season?
So I love the finale, but I did think it was a little bit too focused on why did I get to live? But I have a theory about that.
Okay.
Oh.
There was a lot, it was kind of like gloomy, like, yeah, why did you get to live, Dunk? That's what the prince's son said, that's what the prince's brother said, that's what Lionel Baratheon said. But I kind of feel like, and I feel like this is also why people have kind of gravitated towards this, that I don't know how many seasons of this they're going to be able to do, but kind of by the end, I feel like we're going to have people of this era in the Game of Thrones world. It's going to be like 6 degrees to Sir Duncan the Tall. Like through the travels, everyone in the kingdom is going to see him, get to know him. He's going to be more than just legend. He's going to be someone that people met, had a beer with, had a shag with, So I feel like we're on a journey with him. It's nice that he's introspective, wondering why the gods spared him. Um, but he is a true knight. And I think that's something that resonates, in the first Game of Thrones period. I don't think we've really touched on this too much in House of the Dragon, but the difference between being a knight and a true knight was often not that the true knights were more people that hadn't been knighted. Um, so there's something there. And so yeah, I was a little bit down that they focus on so much of the down of the death of the prince and why he was spared, but it was still very lovely to see his interactions with everyone.
Yeah, I think I can agree with you there, Gina, but I thought that they did a good job of relating that to the entire journey that he went
Mhm.
through, where he was like, had these noble ambitions and felt that everyone else lived up to them, but they didn't. And then the guy that did, he felt led to, so it was like a double, and then I thought it kind of worked with showing Sir Huge Cock and all of the flashbacks with him. I like how Heath just maintains a straight face when I say that, but at least I got a laugh from Gina.
Their
Um,
longsword.
I'm laughing on the inside. Or maybe I'm just so used to it. I don't know.
I know, right? Well, you hear me call you that all the time, Solo. So,
Well, there you go.
but okay, now Gina gave a different face. All
Yeah,
right, we're
well,
moving
as she
on.
should.
But
I'm
anyway,
blushing.
I thought it worked, and I thought that, like when it was over, I was like, wow, that was really sweet. And it was chill, like I was
Yeah.
saying before the show started. My wife was like, that was really a very simple plot. And then I just ran through it. It was like, he goes to talk to him, boom, boom, we're done.
Yeah.
And I think she said, I think you needed that after the last
Oh
couple
yeah.
episodes. So it was good to kind
Right.
of come down like this. And to me, I'm going to have to agree with KC over there, Kevin Santazzo. And I'm going to have to say, this was a pretty perfect season of television. I have to think back when there were six or maybe a little more. I mean, Task was pretty perfect too. It's gonna be very hard to remove this. And I'm saying it right now, folks. Here we go. We're only in February. It's gonna be hard to remove this from my number one of the year for
Ah,
2026.
Wow.
I love this.
Wow.
I thought
yeah.
it was pretty perfect. Like Kevin said, it just maintains
Yeah.
what other ones would do with one episode. It's like that's the whole thing. I loved it.
I think that says something too in this age of TV series where you can do something so simple in 6 episodes and have the audience be so utterly delighted with it.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's hard to do, and I think hopefully we'll see more of it. I know I'm going to bring it up, but at the end of last year, that was kind of a heated rivalry. 6 episodes, lovely story, ends on a nice note. And here we are, another 6 episode piece, great
Yeah.
story, ends on a nice note. And they're actually, both series are built from novels. So I think that's interesting as well. Like these are the right adaptations to be making. I think sometimes people either try too hard to adapt something or they're so far out of ideas. They're like rehashing a series that had been on before
Right.
because they can't really think of anything new and original. But there's something about this. Maybe 6 episodes is the new sweet spot. I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause it gives you just enough. There aren't so many episodes that they have room to fuck it up in, I guess.
Well,
So it's
Gina,
like, right, keep it
our
tight.
peeps from across the pond, a lot of our British shows we love are about six
Yes.
episodes,
Yeah.
and it works. It leaves you
Yeah.
wanting more.
Uh,
Slow Horses is doing that right
yeah.
now, which I want more, but I'm okay with getting the
Yeah.
prime six,
Or it's that same, you get 4 hours of content. Like sometimes they'll do 4 episodes, but it's like
Right.
maybe an hour and a half, hour 15 each. So it kind of nets out like this is the storytelling time. And
Yeah.
it leaves you wanting more too, which I think is important.
Yeah,
You want
definitely.
to be like, not like, oh my God, I need to know what happens next, but you want to like come back to this world, these characters, and, go along for the ride, literally unless you're
Yeah.
Sir Longsword who takes a sharp left.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Um, yeah, it really does bring you into the world. That it's so effective, this series, in doing that and just letting you kind of sit in it. And I um I was listening to The World of Ice and Fire, And now I'm listening to, wait, what's the second to last book in the Game of Thrones series?
Storm of
Um,
Sword. No, Storm of Swords.
no, that's
That's
Feast of
3.
Crows. So now
Feast
I'm
of
listening to A
That's
Feast
number
of
2.
Crows.
I thought that was number 2. Oh, is that the last one?
I think it's second to last because it
Oh,
takes
okay, okay.
place. I think so. Yeah. Anyway, we'll figure it out at some point.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Um, I think A Storm of Swords is 3, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah. I
But
thought it was Game of Thrones, Feast of Crows, Storm of Swords. Oh, yeah. All right.
swords.
Oh my God, that
Solo's
came
going
out.
Storm
on.
of
Oh my
Swords.
God, that New England accent. I haven't.
Solo's in Rhode Island.
What the heck is going on?
Gonna Storm of Swords. Go get some
Storm
The
of
pizza
Storm of
later.
Swords is everywhere.
Hey, Gina, get me my Storm
Oh
of
my
Swords.
God. What happened?
Oh,
That was
oh
funny.
my Lord.
Anyway, it really, this does feel like the books in the sense that you're not waiting for some drag, you're not, it's okay to just be in the world. And they talk about
Yeah.
the history and this and that. It's just beautiful.
You are right,
Um,
Axel.
yeah.
Feast of Crows is 4. A Clash of Kings is 2, and
Oh,
Dance with Dragons is the final.
Okay. Yeah.
well, the
Sorry,
fifth.
fans.
And we're
Sorry
waiting
about
Well,
that.
it
for
probably is the final.
the Winds
So,
of Winter and
Dream of Spring or
Dream of
Dream of
something.
Spring.
Or
Spring.
Rumspringa.
Hope of
Yeah,
Spring.
Rum
Some
Spring.
Amish.
Ah, come on,
Oh
Georgie.
boy.
But speaking of which, this world and the characters we've gotten to know, we begin this episode with our Baratheon friend and Dunk sitting under a tree, which is it goes along with when Sir Arlen, I'll call him that from now on. Sir Arlen is under the tree, which we see so much at the end of the episode. There's a lot of circular stuff going on in the series and the episode itself. And this maester who is like putting like incense on him or something, or try to get the spear, and then is smelling his it's like, does he taste it a little bit? It's like
Is that
With the
his
show,
hobbit
who
weed?
knows?
yes, at the Hobbit weed.
Hobbit.
But he wants him to come to Storm's End. We're picking up here, of course, Dunk is like just laying out. And the funniest part of it is how I was just waiting for him to like collapse the entire episode, because we do start out with the Maester saying like, he's dying, sir.
Yeah.
He's dying. And we saw him get fucked up. So it like I wouldn't be surprised if something like was not right, you know?
Yeah.
But of course, Baratheon's like, fuck that. Come with me,
Yeah.
be my best friend, or be my enemy for not traveling with me. Which I don't know. That was weird when he said that. That kind of surprised me.
I don't know. He might. I don't know if he said that before or after it was the kind of woe is me. I killed the prince. He fought for me, and Lionel's like, I fought for you. That guy fought against
That
seven
was a little bit
people.
after. First he
Yeah,
invites him, and then
yeah,
but that was a funny speech too, because he's like,
yeah.
he knew everyone would protect him. And then he
Right.
kind of remembers, oh wait, he died.
Well, accidents happen when you're swinging a mace, I guess.
Right? It was
Yeah,
kind of like you're kind of defeated your own point there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
yeah.
he could have gotten killed. He did. I don't know. Anything solo on this?
No, just a couple of things. The beginning with the horns or the trumpets at the beginning of the episode, then it goes away. Like that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
very different.
The jazz. That was
Yeah.
like a jazz
Hmm.
piece. I almost thought it was My Funny Valentine. I don't think it was, but it almost felt like it was going in that direction. It was really weird.
Yeah, it was strange, but it's like with this show, I'm okay. Like it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And then when Baratheon's talking with Dunk and he goes, I caught this. I don't know if he says you ever been to Tarth or want to go to Tarth. And
Yes.
I was like, where do I know that name? Oh, Brienne. And then I start thinking, like, is there
Yes.
any adventures there that we don't know about? I mean, I haven't read the book, so
Oh,
I don't know.
So are you not aware that Sir Duncan has supposedly four descendants in the Game of Thrones, the first series?
Oh, I did not. I am new to this, so no, I
Oh,
did not know.
so
Not
so
confirmed though. Not
not
confirmed.
Okay.
confirmed, but spoiler is that one of them is potentially Brienne.
Ah, I
Yeah.
was wondering why they threw that in there because
Yeah.
I thought maybe in a later book or something he goes there or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
hard.
But I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm listening for little clues that I may not get, but I at least want to ask someone that like Matt or you guys, like, does this mean anything? But it's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is fun. I like it.
It is fun.
Going back and forth. But yeah, they fight a little bit. Wait, so who died? Beesby died,
Beesby
right?
died.
And Hardbury. I think those were
Yeah.
their two that died. So
Yeah.
it's good because this is also we are coming back right after the battle, so we didn't even know what condition the other people, we didn't even know
Yeah.
what really condition everyone was in. Um, but he kind of goes off. God, this is such a beautiful. Where did they shoot this in Ireland?
I believe so, yeah.
Man, it's so beautiful. And then the next scene we have is kind of weird. And I didn't get a chance to listen to. I was gonna try to write Aziz and ask him how they are at Baylor's funeral, which is taking place just basically in like a quarry or like a dirt parking lot. And like
Outside of Kmart.
yeah, just kind of like on a mountain just around the corner from where everybody is. At first, when they were there, I thought, wait, did they go back to Dragonstone or something? That's what I thought. But it's weird that they have the funeral like right there. Is that because they can't transport the body so far? Or like what is that about?
I think that's just, I mean, the Targaryen ritual is to burn the body, which it used to be you have a dragon blow on you to light the fire. Um, but yeah, I think they just get it done right away versus transporting the body. Although if you caught it, Lionel called it, I'll see you at the roast, which is
Yeah.
very off. But yeah, I think that's just the way they do it. And then I was also very confused that um I don't think I realized that Baylor had a son.
Yes, yeah,
And
Jenny
we meet him
confirmed
like,
this. Yeah,
where's
yeah.
this guy been the whole time?
Well,
Like we're
that
just seeing him now?
no, see, I was right. In the
We
very
never
in
saw him.
right before we first see what's his name? Aaron, right?
Yeah,
Arion?
Ariane Bright Flame.
Arion in the first joust where he pisses off everyone in the crowd. Remember? And he
Mm-hmm.
goes up to him and he says, "Cousin, I'll
Oh,
save you
okay.
for later." And that was him.
Ah,
That
yeah.
was the
But
same guy.
but you know what's odd is, and I'm getting like into the particulars of IMDb. It doesn't list this character as a prince. And I think it only lists him, oh, maybe he is in two episodes. Yeah, but he's not referred to as a prince in the IMDb listings, which is weird.
Hmm,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
as you're saying, what a beautiful shot too of Dunk just looking up and seeing the the smoke rise, which tells us that he didn't actually go to the funeral, right? Like he later says that he did or he's going to go there, but he didn't
He
actually
kind of
go.
watched.
He kind
Yeah.
of watched from afar.
Yeah.
And I think that communicates like the feelings that he already has of guilt
Yeah.
about
Right.
what's going on. But yeah, then he has a little conversation there. And this is already people are kind of saying to him, hey, by the way, maybe you should take Egg the fuck out of here because
Yeah.
this family ain't so great. And, you know,
Yeah.
let's see, maybe you can help him out.
Yeah. Drunkle Darien to the rescue, really.
Yeah, at the end, right.
Yeah.
It's kind of, he's kind of laying the groundwork here, talking about his father. And then we have Dunk kind of walk through. And then he meets his buddy Raymond. Oh, so cute. They give a big hug. This was like when I met Solo for the first time. It's
Oh,
kind of this, it's actually pretty much the same height discrepancy too. I am the same
Yeah,
size
pretty
as him.
much.
I
that's
literally,
funny.
that's what I was saying. This guy's 6'4".
Same
That's what I was like,
coloring, same height, you know.
how big.
I know,
You know?
seriously.
Yeah, it really is
No
kind of
wonder I
fun.
was in tears and didn't know why when I was watching this scene.
Well, yes. Why was Renata already knocked up and she pretended that she could
Yeah.
become like 3 months
That
pregnant in one night?
Dunk's lack of words around that scene were
Oh
just
yeah,
like
That was hilarious.
it's so good.
he's
He's
like, I might have just been a squire half my
Yeah.
life from Flea Bottom, and yet you don't understand. Okay. I
Yeah,
was just like,
this,
not gonna say anything.
but it was funny because I kept wondering why they kept showing her, like giving her a little bit more screen time. And I think it was to remind us that's her. Look who she's next, right? Like this guy dies. So the guy dies. So she needs to find a new guy. And she
Yeah.
finds a new guy right away.
I
And I
was
Yeah.
thought
getting
that,
Melisandre vibes from her. I don't trust her. I don't
oh,
trust her.
oh, Solo's got it out.
Oh.
Though she's
Okay.
cute, but I don't trust her.
Hmm.
I don't
Well,
know. It was weird.
Mel
It was kind of the way, I don't know. I guess because it was just weird. I know the shocker of, wow, he's got a really good looking woman next to him, but like I don't know. I felt like I was waiting for her to put a spell on somebody. I don't know. It's just the vibe I got.
well, Melisandre was alive during this time because in Game of Thrones world, she was like 400 years
Oh,
old.
that's
Yeah.
right. I wonder
So
if they would ever.
I know
Eh.
there are like always people I'm kind of like, I wonder if we'll get to see so and so, either people
Oh,
you've heard about or
yeah.
that might still, whatever. But yeah.
That was that is funny. And I think it's cool the way you bring these little characters back in, like she has like a little story that went
Yeah.
on throughout the show. Now we see next season if we see, or maybe a season after if we
Yeah.
see these characters again, who knows? But we know where we have left them off. And they're kind of chatting it up when the guards come in and tell Dunk, Maker wants to see you, come chat with him. And then they have a very interesting conversation where he starts off by telling him, oh, don't worry about it. I'm sending Arion to the free cities. He's going to learn the change for the better. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think that's really what's going to happen. I can't see this making him any better. Or, the kid is who he is. Why would it be thinking that a few years in the free cities would make him stronger? Because it's harder there, or I mean,
Yeah.
what do
I
you
don't
think?
know. Go ahead, Heath.
Well, no, I was just thinking instead of like straight training in a facility, kind of going there and learning the aspects of the underworld. I don't know if that would, it's probably more dangerous, but
Trade and
maybe
stuff like
would
that.
pick
Yeah,
up certain things that will allow you in the world to survive more versus just being like in an academy of trained, you know.
that makes sense.
I don't know. That's just, yeah,
Yeah,
just
that does make sense.
probably.
And also being a Targaryen there, not having the same, being in Westeros where they rule it's always different.
Yeah.
But that'd be kind of an interesting thing to follow too.
Yeah.
But this conversation is interesting. They go back and forth. Of course, this is the first time that he's like, I want Egg to be your squire, and you're gonna train with our men, kind of stay within the system. You can train while he trains, and you can be a real knight. And of course, they talk about both of their guilt.
Mhm.
And one thing that was kind of surprising to me is when Maker is kind of like, who would have known that my, this blow would have struck down my brother. And Dunk is kind of like, well, you fucking swung it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
It was kind of like they were both being a little harsh. And then he's like, well, everyone's going to say you're the hedge knight that killed him. It was a good conversation. I thought
Yeah.
it was really interesting.
doesn't he look like, I can't get it out of my head. My wife watches this show, Welcome to Plathville,
Oh
and
my God,
that guy,
Solo, you are so right, dude. Yeah,
every time I
You should
Ethan,
look
see
this
him, I
Ethan,
up.
I
think of the
think is his name.
Plathville guy.
Yeah, Ethan Plath.
And you
Oh
know
my,
who, yeah, yeah.
yep, I know
I
exactly who
thought
you're
it was
talking
him. I'm
about.
like, he's on freaking 7, 8, 9 kingdoms now. No, that's not him. Can't be him.
No, this is good. I don't know. What did you think about their conversation there, Gina?
I mean, yeah, I think this is kind of, part of everyone's kind of playing the blame game in like the least aggressive way they possibly can. And they're sad about it. And so that just kind of, I don't know, but it bothers me a little. Shipping Arion off to the Seven Kingdoms. I mean, it's not the first time we've seen Targaryens escape to the Seven Kingdoms before, Daenerys and her brother. Um,
Ah, see, that's
you
yeah.
know, Uncle Damon was over there with his wife and kids for several years. Um, so I don't in some ways it feels like you're either on the run or you've kind of
Is
been
there? Hello?
outcast. Oh, can you not hear me?
Oh, everyone froze.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Is that my internet? Oh, that was weird.
I don't know. It's just, it's internet. Could you hear
Oh,
anything I was
okay.
saying?
No, I don't
I
know. It
could hear
says,
you, but we were
yeah.
all froze.
It
Oh,
says my current internet is unstable. I'm sorry. Maybe the
oh,
work near me is messing with my internet a little bit. I
We're
don't
all
know. Well,
it could
unstable.
be.
let's just try to continue.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's either kind of where it's where problematic Targaryens go for one reason or another,
Mhm.
the free cities. So, uh, I don't know. And I think, that kid is problematic for various reasons, which I think we'll get into when we see a certain scene happening as well.
No, I don't know. Solo, anything on this conversation here and the proposal and all that?
I'm done with princes. Okay. Sound like a
They
good deal to
break
me.
they break my heart.
Yeah. I know
So,
it did kind of sound like a good deal to me, but I think that's why this, like you were saying, Gina, why there's so much emphasis on his feeling of guilt, because it necessitates this episode, because all it is a him coming
Yeah.
back and forth until they finally do it, right? But then they have the conversation where Dunk and Egg sit down, they chat it out, he's like, I'm disappointed. I thought you were a better knight than that, and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of like, you know what, kid? Jeez. First your uncle lays it on, your dad, I should say. First your dad lays it on thick. Then you got to lay it on too. I didn't think that was so nice of Egg. I think Egg could have been a little bit more understanding.
But Egg is very sharp.
Yes, that's
He's
true.
he's very
He is a
bright.
Targaryen.
This isn't the first time he's spoken to Dunk this way either.
Yeah,
I think
that's
this
true.
is just kind of who he is. Um, yeah. I think it's just who he is. He
I
thinks
mean,
like
egg
an
was
adult.
poached.
Yeah.
Solo's got the one-liners today.
Yeah, I got the eggs.
So then we have a nice little flashback of Sir Aron, right? And he's laying under the tree, and this is where he dies, right? This is just before he
Mhm.
dies, and he's telling this story, and it's inspirational. It goes along with what and kind of shows us maybe where Dunk got a little bit of his ideas from, in a sense, you know. Um, and he so desperately wants, why didn't you make me a knight? And he thinks he's dead, but then he wakes back up and he says a true knight always finishes his tales. And I have seen this shared on the internet today. And what I want to ask you both is this a direct blow to the big man himself, George R. Martin, for finishing his tale? That's how a lot of people have seen
Oh, I didn't
this
even think of that.
as,
Oh, I didn't think of that,
yes,
but yeah, I think
yes,
it might be a little side eye to him
yep.
for sure. And I don't
Especially
I
after
don't
the
mind. I
issues he
like it.
had on some of the shows, complaining and talking out, right? They were like, fuck it, let's just take a shot across the bow.
Yeah, that works for me.
It kind of does, right? Um, But you know what? This is a nice little scene. It's kind of cute, like it kind of reiterates their relationship, which we felt before, but at this point it's
Oh,
important. And just the cinematography and the landscape. And God, I really wish I knew how much. I don't watch enough of the behind the scenes, but how much of this little CGI they add, like a little hill here or a hill there. I'm never sure. But man, it's just so beautiful, the shots that they take and just sitting in that tree. Um, and so Dunk is having some brews with the new married couple, the new pregnant, expecting couple, the insta dad. And he runs into Dunk's other brother, Darion, right?
yep.
Same guy who we had seen in the beginning, right?
The beginning and then again, kind of
Yeah,
towards the middle. We've seen
yeah.
him a couple times.
And this is a direct plea to take Egg to Squire.
Yeah.
He kind of goes through the Targaryen thing. I don't know. What do you think, Solo? Do you think that it's in the blood, or do you think being away from his family would help him? Because as he said, Arion wasn't always such a little monster.
Right.
So
Well, the problem is we as an audience, we have more information. So of course you want to say maybe it'll be good for him since there's a lot of Mad Kings and craziness going on. Um, but if you're living during that time, I guess I'm kind of 50-50. He should be with his family, and I'm worried about him going on this adventure, or that's the trade-off there. I mean, Plathville guy even says, like, I have one son, that's my only son. And so if something happens to him, that's the only thing. But
yeah,
um,
Well, and it's interesting he says that because he still has at least two other sons that we know of, because Arion
yeah,
and
right,
Darren
right.
are
Because
still
I was,
alive, but
yeah.
perhaps not worthy or acceptable.
Oh,
that's
okay.
And
that's
Aemon
why.
is
Yeah.
alive, but at the Citadel, is that the
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Old
Ah,
Town, learning to be a maester.
Yep.
So
yeah.
he's
Why did he
kind of,
say that?
well, because I think he's the last son he has any hope for to
Yeah.
maybe
Uh,
That's what it
be
oh,
is.
a
okay.
contributor to the realm and the
Gotcha.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's saying that's my last hope
Yeah.
of a
Gotcha.
son.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a
Oh,
Right.
drunk, I got a psychopath, and I got a
Right. Right.
maester. I need
yeah.
someone to hand this down to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's hoping that maybe I think he's really saying this. The father is saying the same thing that Darion is saying, right? Which is, we need you to protect him from us.
Yeah.
And
Yes. Yeah.
so whether
100%.
it's however you do it, we've now kind of figured like the events of this tournament with Baylor dead and everyone fucked up for no fucking reason because
Yeah.
this prick kid had to act out, right? Multiple times, mind you, after being told not to,
Yeah.
whose fault it really is, that I think Dunk kind of realizes that by the end, where everyone's saying to him, no, you're not at fault. We want you to take the kid.
Yeah.
Like, you're the good one.
Yeah.
And I think that's helpful to his healing process through this, because that's like a traumatic event.
Yeah.
But it's a good scene. It's a good scene and good makeup too, with the scar and the eye
Mhm.
Oh,
all
yeah.
blood.
Yeah.
Throughout, what I really enjoyed is that every time he talked to someone, they would stand up and hobble away. And you'd be
Yes.
like, oh, they
Because
were in
they
the
were
battle
all in
too.
the, yes.
Yeah.
I noticed that
They
as
were
well. I was
all in
like,
the
oh, that's
battle.
good.
Like,
They're all hurting today.
yeah, everybody was hurting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it wasn't like anyone, like, all of a sudden they were okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, all right, now we have the most disturbing scene where Egg almost kills his brother until his father intercedes. But knowing that he has every right to want to do this, simply hugs him close to him instead
Yeah.
of doing anything. And this was really beautiful. And Maker is a better guy than I thought he was, or else at
Yeah.
least he's changing
Yeah.
now.
I also, when I watched this scene, I know we had talked about it maybe a week or two ago that perhaps Arian had sexually abused Egg.
Yeah,
And I
yes.
felt that much more strongly was something likely to have happened um, with this scene.
Yeah.
Hoping that his brother would have died in the Battle of the Seven. Dunk actually spared him. He could have killed him if he wanted, but he did not.
Yep.
And it just leads me to think that, yeah, something more happened when he came into the bedchamber other than just holding a knife at his private parts. So, which is traumatic in its own right, but there's just something, I mean, even his other brother calls him a little monster. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I have to agree because yeah, it wasn't I knew there was something deeper. That
yeah,
rage, I mean, and just what Egg was going through and about to do something like totally out of his character.
yeah,
He felt this was the opportunity and you could see the pain and the suffering in him. I mean, it was just, I mean,
Yeah.
they hit a home run with these two actors.
mm,
I mean,
So
yeah,
much.
so great.
I'm in love with this Egg kid. This
He's just
he's
so adorable,
I
he's
so
know.
so
good.
adorable and just I love following him and I really do like Dunk too. He's doing a great
I
job
love
for
Dunk.
not
I
being
know.
for being a rugby player, not
Yeah,
a
yeah,
formally trained actor. I mean, I'm sure he got training, but I mean, just it works. It
yeah.
works. And that scene, it
It's
felt a little out of place, but
fantastic
didn't.
casting.
But it was
It's
just
very
like,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, I
So
think
Oh,
we're
I'm losing you
freezing
there
again.
again. Sorry,
We're
we're having
just
a little
freezing. I
internet
think our
problems. I'm
audio
just
is fine. I think it's the video.
Oh, okay, cool. All
Yeah.
right, cool. So yeah, we'll just keep talking then.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fantastic casting all the way through. Everybody. There's not, I mean, I didn't find any fault with the show,
Mhm.
with anybody that was cast. So we have Dunk decides that he is going to go back and he's going to say, you know what? I will take Egg with me, but Mr. Maker, but I don't want to be trained by you. We're just going to roam around. We're going to be traveling knights. I'll be a traveling knight. He'll be my squire and we'll roam the seven kingdoms. And Maker's like, that ain't happening, kid. So, basically, right? He's like, nah,
Yeah,
that's
my
not what's
son
going to
ain't
happen.
staying in a Best
Yeah,
Western.
no,
No, not
Yeah.
happening.
that's not happening.
Motel
I mean,
6.
yeah, I'm willing to have you be a buffer between us, but you can't have him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not giving you my son, which makes sense, right? I thought it
Yeah.
was interesting. Subtle. This episode is subtle, a lot of the points, but an
Yeah.
interesting point.
But it wasn't uncommon for younger sons to be
It wasn't.
fostered
Yeah, that's true.
at other places. And so, I mean, I guess he was thinking it would be a foster at Summer Hall where he wasn't necessarily with the family, but he was in one of the family castles. But,
Yeah.
he could have sent him to the Vale or, to another house. They could have gone to Storm's End together and he could have been fostered there, although Lionel doesn't seem to like the Targaryens that much. Um,
Hmm.
but it wasn't uncommon for that to happen. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, you had it in instances of war like Theon,
mhm.
right? And then you also had it wasn't Ned and
And
Littlefinger
Robert,
or
Ned
Ned
and
and
Robert
Robert. That's
fostered
right.
together.
Yes, Ned and
Yeah.
Robert. Yep. So that's it. So in many instances, you're right. So that's and then during the show, there wasn't they kind of wasn't someone kind of given to someone else? I can't remember. I'm trying to think at some point.
Um,
Oh, well, he took Aaron. He took John Aaron's son, the little the late bloomer,
right.
like to
Yeah.
suckle his
Down.
mother's
Well, and I think in House of the
Littlefinger
Dragon,
took him.
there's another son of Alicent's who's being fostered
Ah,
somewhere that we
yes.
haven't seen yet that we
That's
might
true. You're
see coming
right.
up.
Yes.
We're waiting
Yes.
for him. He was cast. We're waiting for him to come back.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, and we also get in this scene that oh, her name is escaping me right now. The tournament's host the
Yes, for her
daughter.
name day. Yeah.
Yeah, she approaches Dunk and compliments him this time,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
she's like, you're a good guy. And I told you she liked him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, this is what I tell my son. When a little girl comes up to you and is like, you stink. It's like, she likes you. Just the way it is. It's life,
Unless you're
kid.
35 years old, then
Get
it's
used to it.
different.
Then she means it. Yes. But among the young, it is common. But that was so cute. I like that. I like that little touch. See, that's why this show rocks, because we
Yeah.
saw her here and there. We saw her also being offered by her father to the Targaryens as soon as they arrived, you know? So she's kind of, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like Dunk leads to like kind of a little bit of like a mass awakening. Like these events that happen here
Hmm.
are
Yeah.
informing the people and everyone involved of kind of like what's going on here, right? Like
Yeah.
their sentiments are against the Targaryens, but I just thought that that was really a very cool point.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, anything else? Anything else about that? Solo?
No.
Okay. Then we have Dunk cleaning his nails under the tree and adding the penny to the tree, which is a reference to the flashback we had
Mhm.
with Sir Arlen earlier.
Well, and he was Sir Arlen Pennytree as well,
Yes.
wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of maybe leaving that behind too, right?
Yeah.
That's telling us in a way, you know what, next season, I don't know if we need any more flashbacks. Like we've learned
Right.
who he is. It's time that he moved past that. He's someone new now,
Yeah.
right? That's why like we often, you know, sometimes we forget, but like when we start talking about a show, it's like, why are we here? Why are
Hmm.
we picking up right here in a
Right.
person's life in this story? And for this, it's very obvious why we're here. He
Yeah.
becomes a knight, right? Like this is his origin story
Yeah.
in so much, and he has to leave behind like the prequels. Just we'll just make those in 15 years when HBO is bought by Disney, and keep that because it's probably going to happen. And then he meets up again with Raymond, who was so nice. He bought him his horse back.
Sweetfoot.
Sweetfoot.
Cute.
Oh,
Sweetfoot.
Sweetfoot.
Some people have a sweet tooth.
Is
Dunk's
that a
got a sweet foot.
band? Is there a band called Sweetfoot? It sounds like a band, doesn't it?
My old friend, my old friend, my friend Glenn used to have a band called Sweet Talk in the
Oh,
80s. And then for
Oh.
some reason, I added it, probably because I started calling it Sweet Talk and the Sassafras, and it stuck.
oh,
So it never was sassafras, but when we mention it,
Sweet
oh,
Talk and the
Funny.
Sassafras. I like that. I like that. Sassafras. But Dunk says, you know what? I want this horse to be free.
She'll be
So
happy in the orchard with all the
she'll be happy.
apples that he wants to
oh,
make sure she
I
gets.
so wanted an
Oh,
apple after seeing that.
yeah.
Cute.
To be honest.
So then Dunk is riding off, and not to shock anyone, but this story has to continue. So Egg runs out and says, "Hey, my dad said I could come with you." And Dunk's like, "Cool."
Uh,
He's like, but you know, he gives him the little stern thing like he likes to do, right? Like, because throughout the whole
yeah.
season, right, it
Right.
was like, how stern should I be? How nice? So he's stern, but once they get on the horse and they're going, he relaxes and they have, you know, their little, oh, we could go wherever you like. Where in all of the seven kingdom? And he says, actually, sir, there's nine.
I
And then
know.
he
He's not
explains,
wrong.
it's not wrong, and there are nine kingdoms, and then very cutely the show cuts to the titles, A Knight of the Nine Kingdoms, which
Yeah.
I thought was very cute. But they have
Um,
confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, they are not changing the name of the
Yeah.
show. The name of the show is still A Knight of the
yeah,
Seven Kingdoms.
branding, you can't.
And then we'll talk about, I'll just go on to the last part, of course, the stinger, which is Maker running around. They're all leaving. Where's Egg? Where's Aegon? Where's Aegon? Of course, so his father did not let him go. He ran off to be with him, which spells for a little bit of danger, you know. But it's kind of fun. It reminds me a little bit of Poker Face, right? They're on the run. The mafia's
Yeah.
after him. You know, a
Well,
lot
one
of
of
different
them's on the
shows,
run.
right? The
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk, right? Though he doesn't like him when he gets angry. But yeah, that was it. I don't know, Solo. What do you think? What do you think of that ending? Cute? You liked
Yeah,
it?
I liked it. Eggs got chestnut. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know, it's kind of how it started and how it's now ending slash continuing. I liked that little touch. I thought it was perfect. And that's like you said, the stinger at the end when Plath feels like and he realizes it and he swears and then it goes right to like 16 tons
Yeah.
song.
That was
Um
That
weird
was weird.
too. The music choices are weird. I have to say, I could do with the jazz because I could believe that that could exist within that world. I could believe that, but I can't believe that that song exists in Westeros. So I didn't like. That's the only
are we gonna see
choice I
Ed
didn't love.
Sheeran singing it by a campfire and then you'll be fine with it?
Well,
16 tons on
yeah.
the
I mean, it's a good song though. It was fun. It was fun. Gina, what'd you think?
I mean, I like the ending. The music was a little weird, but I think my favorite part was it. And I think this could it you could be right that we're not going to see Sir Arlen again when they're all going down the path together and
Oh,
then Sir Arlen
yes.
cuts out,
That
which
was
it's like,
beautiful.
okay, I think that means he's like left the story.
That's the end of my whole thing.
Yeah.
And I forgot to
the
Yeah.
say it.
finish,
Thank
the
you,
night
Gina.
finish, the story.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Boom.
Um
You're oh,
yeah. And then I think hopefully, Maker figures out that his son probably ran away to be with Donk. I mean, if you had any brains, you'd probably be like, oh, I probably chased after that hedge knight. He's probably okay, but still, I don't know.
one
Yeah.
question I have for you guys. Oh, maybe I came in too soon.
No.
When Baratheon says a war is coming, is it a feeling? Do we know of a war that's the next big war or something? Do we know what he's referring to?
I'm kind of off on my Targaryen war timeline.
I
Uh,
assumed it was just because it was the Blackfire
ended.
rebellions, though. That weren't there several of them? What didn't it kind of start up and die down and start? I thought someone else popped up after, because there were many different, weren't there many different supposed bastards that were made legitimate? That's what it was. That's what I thought. But he's not
Because
talking about like the Mad King or anything. That's
it can't be
many.
Robert's
Yeah.
Rebellion because
No, no,
that's
no,
No.
80 years later or
no.
something.
I think he's talking about
Um,
more rebellions, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Or maybe it's an idea, like things aren't right.
That is a
That's
good,
what
you
I
know
was
what,
thinking.
Solo? I like that you say it that way, right? Because that is a theme of what we were talking about, like where you see the people rise up at the tournament, where
Yeah.
like the daughters like the people are kind of realizing like these fucking Targaryens, they're more outspoken about it. Even Raymond, right? He gave the best description of a Targaryen. I wish that I had that clip when Daenerys turned bad and I could have just played that for
oh,
people and maybe they would have felt a little bit like, what are you getting so upset about? Like, did look into a little bit of history of what these
Yeah.
stories say about the dragon people. They crazy.
yeah. I'm kind of looking to see Blackfire Rebellions. You know, I I don't know that there are
Hmm,
other
maybe not.
And without
Robert's
it,
Rebellion might be the next big rebellion, which would be interesting that a Baratheon said that, even
Oh,
though it's going
maybe
to be like
that's
90 years away.
You know
yeah.
what? That kind of, you know what? When you put, I should have thought of that. Maybe it's again a little bit of an in-world wink, wink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the show has represented throughout this series, right? This season,
Mhm.
like we said already, rebellion. So it kind of fits that the Baratheon should say that, not
Oh, as a
knowing.
like
There,
it may not happen in
Yes. A
two
wink to the
years,
audience.
there,
but it's
He is referring to the feeling, but to us, it may ring as, oh, your descendant will inherit the throne in that
I don't
rebellion,
know.
well, we
right?
we do know that there is one Oh no, that's after Robert's Rebellion. That's when the Iron Islands tried to rise up. So there might be a couple smaller
Yeah,
ones,
there's always somebody was always
but
battling.
But
but
is
the next
there is could there be ones we don't know about that haven't been written about because of the length of time, or is everything from now till Game of Thrones per
I
se,
cannot answer that.
right?
yeah,
I don't,
I'm not
there's got to
as
be some room
I have
to,
no idea if there's any missing. That's a great question, Solo. The missing history
yeah.
of Westeros.
yeah, because
Oh,
I
a
know
new podcast
the
brought to
missing history.
you by
Oh,
guys who don't know that much
much
and are
and
Googling it on a podcast.
Yeah, because I'm kind of looking at some timeline and I mean,
Well, regardless, we'll figure it out. But
yeah.
regardless,
yeah,
it makes
yeah,
sense on many different levels.
something
I
could be
like it on
coming.
all of. I think all the ones we discussed kind of make it more fun because it's like a triple entendre that he's making reference to
Oh,
within the world and outside of it.
there
Gina
might
might have found
be
it.
the War of the Nine Penny King. No, that's the fifth Blackfire Rebellion. Well, maybe.
See, there
The
are.
last year's. No, I think that must be that might be the last one though. It's so hard to tell. There's just like so much history that he's
Maybe he's planning
creating
something
here.
that doesn't come true. Or maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Maybe there was something
Yeah,
he was feeling. But anyway, did you have another
yeah.
point on that, Solo?
Yeah, just so without spoiling, because I don't, just in case you know or don't know, do we know through Martin's text, young Egg, his whole life, what it becomes? Is that all documented, I'm assuming?
I think a
Or
lot of it is
okay,
where he ends up is
Yeah.
for
okay.
sure, and I
Yeah,
think
because
how
that would
he
make sense
dies
that
is
they would
yeah,
have that. Okay.
like
Yes.
in time.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dies. I'm not saying like something's gonna happen right away.
Right, right. I mean,
Yeah,
well, these days you could die at 30, you could die whatever
yeah,
the
Yeah.
life expectancy is, but because I it just it's going to be hard for me not to research that to see where this, because I love the little kid so much. I want to see, is he become really evil or is
You
he
might
good?
already know more
I
than
might know and not
you.
realize it today.
Yes.
yes. Because
I just realized that. Yeah.
remember,
Yeah,
Aemon
remember.
of the Night's Watch
That's his
is Aeg's older brother,
that's his bro. Master Aemon.
Oh.
Maester Aemon.
Yeah, so
Oh.
Maester, yes. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
so he's really, yeah, old,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
oh yeah, Master Aim. Oh my
That's why
lord.
I'm kind of
I
hoping we
think
see Aemon at some point in this
oh yeah.
series as a young man, Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So,
cool.
well, what a great ending to a fantastic series. It leaves us wanting more like it should. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just loved it. I also loved chatting about it with you, Gina. It was a pleasure
Yes.
to get
Thank
on
you
here each week.
for
And to
having
all of
me.
our guests, we had Amy from Little Miss Recap. We had Jenny. We had Andy. We had Matt, the creator himself. We
Uh-huh.
had Bubba and
I
Catfish.
know.
To get both of them, we must have really, our budget for that episode must
That's
have
why you're
been.
here, Solo. We blew the budget, so we had to
So
go
I had to
in-house
come
for
in.
the last
Aw.
episode.
Hey, I'm here to fill in, you know?
Well, see, Amy and Bubba and Catfish blew the budget, so everyone
Oh
else was
yeah.
in-house. We brought you
Yeah.
in.
Ando owes us money.
And
So
Matt,
he's,
we
yeah, okay.
tried to pay Matt, but he wouldn't accept it.
That would be Matt. Like he could
I
demand
know,
like 100 grand to come back and be like, guys, I'll do it for you guys.
but it was really awesome. And we do appreciate everyone who has downloaded, reached out, watched us on YouTube, all that stuff. It really is much appreciated if we didn't get a chance to call your name out or anything like that throughout. We are going to continue podcasting, of course. Keith and I are finishing Hijack. We
Oh,
got
that's
two
right. We
more
got hijack
episodes.
tonight.
Yep. Hijack this week and next week, and then we're done. I'm finishing The Traders with Amy on Friday. And then we have two more podcasts that are coming up that I'm going to announce right now.
Oh, wow.
Andy and I are going to be covering DTF St. Louis with David Harbour
Oh.
and Jason Bateman.
Nice.
And Amy and I are going to be covering Imperfect Women with
Oh,
Elizabeth
cool.
Moss, Kerry Washington on
Oh, yeah, that
Apple
looks good.
TV.
That
That's
looks
going to be
good.
in March. And those will both be on the DVR podcast or whatever we're called at that time. Let's see.
Yeah.
Taking a little while for the
Dun, dun.
launch, but
Spoiler
hey,
alert.
we'll see what happens. But both of those shows will be covering, so stick with us, subscribe, follow along with us. Come join the Facebook page at Daily DVR, a TV and film podcast. Any final words, Solo?
No, thank you guys. I've been listening to you, of course, all season, and great job, the both of you, and then the guests. I mean, the guests were awesome. I mean, it really added a little nice spice, not to reference Dune, but the spices. But it was great. And don't forget, me and Ando do the film list. You can check out where I
Yes.
count down my 1,000 favorite films of all time, and we're getting close to 700.
Oh my
Next pod,
gosh.
we'll have done over 300 movies.
Wow.
So
Yep.
we're getting there.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gina, final words remain yours.
I mean, it was a great season. It seems like we're getting a double dose of Westeros this year because we'll
Ah,
have House of the Dragon coming
Of
up
course, we'll be
too.
back.
They just dropped the
June.
the trailer for that season. So, we'll get out our Targaryen family tree again and who all the dragons belong to and dive into whatever that may bring. So,
I know
yeah,
it
no,
was one
it's great.
trailer, Gina, but it looked good to
It
me.
did look good.
I was like,
You're excited and you're not
it
really
felt,
about the show.
it felt
Yes.
GOT like
Well,
this could
listen.
be.
Getting
Yeah. No,
serious.
this is it. There's only 2 more seasons,
Oh, that's right.
and they there are certain characters who remain nameless, Damon, who did nothing and just like walked around some haunted castle for
Yeah.
half the season.
Yeah.
But now everybody's got shit to do because I remember a little bit more of this story from listening, and now it like kind of
Yes.
kicks in. They were doing the waiting thing a little. We saw some good, but there's gonna be some shit going down. That's gonna be a lot of
I,
Be a
action.
fun
I
summer.
I know
Yeah,
there's one moment in this story that I'm absolutely dreading, and I feel like it's probably going to happen in this season.
yeah.
Dun
We
dun
shall see.
dun.
Well, we'll be back for that.
Yep.
Check the feeds. Thank you, everyone. Again, thank you, Gina. Thank you, Heath.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And
Axel.
that's it. Thanks, everyone watching on the YouTube. Peace out.